Buying whole chicken can be a pretty scary proposition for some, but it's easy and it's tasty too. Today I'm going to give you 4 reasons why you should buy a whole chicken instead of the parts. It's no secret that buying whole chicken is cheaper per pound than buying the parts separately. It's like buying the breast and getting the rest of it for free. It just takes a little bit of work, and I'm going to demonstrate that in a second. So I realize that cost may not be the primary motivator for everyone, but you can invest the savings into some better chicken. So if you're buying commodity chicken breasts, you could upgrade to an organic whole chicken for about the same price. If you're already buying organic, you can move up to free range and you're going to be rewarded with some better flavor. The best chicken I ever had was raised about 5 miles that way. It was on the grill the day after it was processed. Now that's fresh. If a chicken is air chilled, it's usually a sign of a higher quality chicken. So if you can get it, grab that one instead. So why is air chilled such a big deal? After you kill the chicken, you gotta get the feathers off, and they do that by putting it in some scalding water, breaks down the proteins, makes them easier to pull out. But after that, you gotta cool it down to make sure that it doesn't spoil. So chickens that aren't air chilled are put in a bunch of water with a little bit of chlorine and a bunch of other chickens. So if one of them has some bad bacteria, there's a good chance the other ones may get it too. Air chilled means that you don't have that spread of bacteria and you get a crispier skin because it didn't take a water bath before it gets to you. The second one is to reduce waste. I'm a big fan of using every part of the animal to make sure that you don't waste it. The best tribute that you can give to the life that was taken is to cook it to perfection. Going whole is a great reminder of that. Bloomberg reported that the demand for chicken thighs is going up, while demand for chicken breast is going down. I don't know if you noticed, but chickens come with 2 of each. That's not likely to change. The producers adjust prices based on demand, but that doesn't always work. During the pandemic, there was a huge surplus of chicken wings because they weren't eaten at all the sports football games. So buying whole lets you use every part without having to wonder where the rest of the pieces of that chicken went. The third reason is to know your food. The best cooks know their ingredients and can make each one shine by catering to its strengths. And since breaking down a whole chicken can be pretty intimidating, I'll quickly show you how to do it. To remove the breast, find the breastbone at the center. You'll want to cut just the side of it. Cut straight down following that breastbone until you hit the rib cage. The next cut is on the side of the chicken just above the wing. Use it as a guide and cut towards the center of the chicken. Then cut from the back of the breast, removing anything else that is still connected. There's an extra muscle under the breast that's often forgotten, and that's the tender. It's the perfect size for chicken strips. Now it's up to you if you want to remove it or leave it in place. Next, I remove the thighs and the drumsticks. Flip the chicken so that it's breast side down and cut along the side of the chicken towards the thigh bone. Once you hit it, fold the chicken thighs over and break the joint. That'll make it easier to cut through without hitting the bone. This part is called the rear chicken quarter, but you can split the drums and the thighs if you'd like. So with the drumstick pointing up, I cut to where the joint bends until I hit the bone, then I break the joint and cut through. These wings are destined for stock, but the process of removing them is pretty similar. Find the spot where the chicken bends, start cutting until you hit something, break the joint, and cut through. I'm saving the carcass to make some stock that'll end up as Mrs. GTE's chicken pot pie. Just remember that the first time you do this, you're probably going to butcher it. But with practice, you'll be able to do it without thinking and end up with beautiful cuts. The fourth reason is to get creative with your food. If you've never cooked with a certain part of the chicken, buying whole is going to force you to do it. You can go well beyond just spatchcocking or whole roasting, and there's a whole world of possibilities. So let me show you a few of the things that I plan to make with this chicken. I made the drums and thighs in a Hawaiian-style shoyu chicken, and I've made that recipe on the channel before. The tenders? Well, let's just say they never made it into the house. One breast is saved for pizza, and the other one has Cajun blackened seasoning and will make some killer sandwiches. There's at least one good reason for buying the parts separately, and that's if you wanted to make a whole bunch of one thing like this amazing chicken sandwich. But the rest of the time, you might as well support a local farmer and buy whole whenever you can.